أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Please make salah ala nabi alayhi salam. We decided, alhamdulillah, to have it, and I remind you to renew your intention. Everyone in this hall, renew your intention. This is educational sessions, so we educate ourselves about marriage and marriage in Islam. We try our best to learn something new, and it's a circle of knowledge, by the way, a circle of knowledge. Sometimes we can't have a chance to have a circle of knowledge at some places, but out of the grace and the favor of Allah Azza wa Jal, that He gave us the ability to come to Masjid, the house of Allah Azza wa Jal, having the workshops, having lectures, and this is a circle of knowledge. What is the benefit of having a circle of knowledge? And by the way, the sisters, they asked the Prophet ﷺ at his time to specify a circle of knowledge for them, to make them, halaqah, to make them dars, a lecture, a lesson, a class, so that they can learn. They were jealous, subhanAllah, from men all the time. Prophet ﷺ is teaching. And this is the woman all the time. They jealous, mashallah. That's a good thing, They're jealous, that jealousy is something good. But if it's exaggerated, it's not something good, inshallah. You control the jealousy with the religion, with the law of Allah Azza wa Jal, without accusing anyone, without saying something haram, or doing something, or preventing something halal. The idea is, Prophet ﷺ specified a special class for them. And he used to go and admonish them, remind them, give them a reminder. And they were so, clever in this regard. They were attending. And that's why in Masjid Abu Bakr on Saturday, we have the circles of the sisters. We invite you, if you don't know anything about this, to join us on Zoom. We used to have it in person. The sisters, they used to be upstairs, and I used to be in the other phase here. They were inside, and I used to give the lecture without seeing the sisters. But for some reasons now we have it only on Zoom. So we have Arabic class, and we have also tafsir class. We have tafsir Surah Maryam. So you can join us in the group, inshallah. You can ask the sisters about the announcements of the lessons, so you can join our classes bi'iznillah azza wa jal. I remind you that this is a circle of knowledge, and Prophet ﷺ said, "Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman, sahhala Allahu lahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah." Whoever seeks a way, a tool to seek knowledge, any beneficial knowledge, and the best knowledge is the religious knowledge, which is related to your religion, to get the protection, the best for your dunya and for your akhirah. So whoever is doing something like this, سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِهِ طَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ, Allah will make him an easy way to go to Jannah. When you know that and you keep it in mind, it will make it easy for you thinking about the way you drove from the house coming here. That will make it easy for you when you sit in the masjid. That will make it easy for you when you think about the reward. You're not wasting your time. You are investing with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. You are trading with Allah, the best trade, the best investment. You do it, the best business. You do it with Allah Azza wa Jal. And another intention, we need to keep it in mind as well, that you wait for salah. So you're seeking knowledge right now, and you're waiting for salah, the coming salah, which is salat al-maghrib. And Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he told us, he said, أَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى مَا يَمْحُ اللَّهُ بِهِ الْخَطَايَا وَيَرْفَعُ بِهِ الدَّرَجَاتِ قالوا بلى يا رسول الله قال إسباغ الوضوء على المكاره وكثرة الخطى إلى المساجد وانتظار الصلاة بعد الصلاة. You can keep your shoes, by the way. Okay? So he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, shall I tell you about things? If you do it, Allah Azza wa Jal will forgive your sins. يمحو بهن الخطايا, and He will elevate your ranks in Jannah. ويرفع به الدرجات. They said, sure, tell us, O Messenger. He said, perfection of wudu, إسباغ الوضوء على المكاره وكثرة الخطى إلى المساجد, that you come frequently to masajid, you are attached to the house of Allah Azza wa Jal. you're attached to the house of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَانْتِظَارُ الصَّلَاةِ بَعْدَ الصَّلَاةِ, that you wait for salah after salah. So now we are waiting for the next salah. If you intend that, you keep it in mind, this is another reward. I tell you that because, to make it easy for you, you came, you drove while raining. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you and give you all the rewards. Another thing I want to make it as intro for every one of us. I don't know if you followed the news. I mentioned that yesterday. There is a sister in Gaza. She is called Dr. Ala al-Najjar. Sister and a doctor, and she is pediatric. And she's working in one of the hospitals in Gaza. It's called Mujamma' Nasser al-Tibbi, the Assembly of Nasser, of the hospitals. So she's working as pediatric, and she was working in Gaza, serving the kids and serving the people who come out of explosions and come out of bombings and the strikes. And while she was working, she received a group of kids coming to her. And for your information, Dr. Ala al-Najjar, she's a doctor, and her husband is a doctor as well, and they have 10 kids. They have 10 kids. She was working in the emergency, and while she was working, she received a group of kids coming, they burned, and they don't know their bodies, they don't know their shapes, anything about them. And they found out that they are 9 kids of her. 9 kids of Dr. Ala al-Najjar. She lost 9 kids in one night, in one strike. And none of them have, a whole body, subhanAllah, pieces. They were cut into pieces. They were burnt. The people, they found it hard to know their faces, their IDs or anything about them. And the only one who survived was the husband and one of her kids, and they made them like couple surgeries to keep them alive. What do I want to do, or what do we get from this introduction and this horrific matter? Dr. Ala al-Najjar, for the sisters, you have to keep this in mind, because you're going to be future mothers. You're going to be future wives. So Dr. Ala al-Najjar, she set the best example of the best mother. Once people told her about this, and she was crying, she did not shout, she did not object, she did not, argue, why me, why me? She didn't say that. Here in US, we say, why me? A lot. In different places in the world, we say, why me, why me? We keep saying, why me? Dr. Ala al-Najjar, she said, Hum ahya'un 'inda rabbihim yurzaqun. They are alive. They are alive with their Lord. Allah provides for them. Allahu Akbar. Beautiful. Dr. Ala al-Najjar, she wasn't only a mother, she was a faithful mother. And to be a successful mother, I have to be a faithful mother. She was humane, who can help while the hardships. Do you know what? The husband, for the brothers, he did what? He took his wife, and they went together to the hospital. He made sure that she went to the hospital safe. And he went back to sit with his 10 kids. He's not a babysitter, but he's sharing the responsibility with her. This is her work of helping the Muslims. And by the way, the mothers of the believers and women in Islam, they used to help even during the war, in the Battle of Uhud, Battle of Badr. Women, they used to take care of the injured people. So this is something humanitarian, to serve in the community. We're not selfish. The true responsibility, you find it in the difficult situations. That man, he didn't say, it's not my business, you have to stay home. This is hard time, you shouldn't go there. They're bombing, they're striking every day, and all the times they're a killing machine. Don't go there. This is gonna, you have 10 kids. This is too much to take care of. And subhanAllah, 10 kids in the community of Gaza, yani, you may say, 10 kids? Yeah, they should be so old. The sister, she's 35 years old. 35 years old. And between every kid is 1 year, just 1 year. They just love to have kids. They just love to have big family, to have a lot of believers, believing in Allah. As Umar radiallahu anhu said, the best thing in marriage that makes me connected to marriage more is that I marry, I have kids. Those kids, I prepare them for striving for the sake of Allah. I prepare those kids to strive for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And none of them was worried about the provision. You know, you're going to work hard. Yeah, life is hard. But if you keep thinking about provision and these stuff, you're going to make it harder for yourself. So this is something important. She was faithful, doctor, humanitarian, a mother. And the faith, what makes all of this easy for every one of us. Please keep Sister Ala al-Najjar in your dua with the name. Allahumma sabbir ukhtana Ala al-Najjar. اللهم أجرها في مصيبتها واخلفها خيرا منها يا رب العالمين اللهم هون عليهم وفرج عنهم الكرب ويسر لهم الأمر اللهم آمين وفرج عن إخواننا جميعا في غزة وفي كل مكان اللهم آمين. The marriage workshop number 4. Today we talk about the engagement, the khitbah, which is before the marriage. Last time we talked about the criteria of choosing a brother, choosing a sister, how the methodology that comes to you, the attributes that you need to keep it in mind. We talked about this last time. And today we talk about khitbah, which is a serious matter, which is something official that you take, that you started, because now you're getting to the seriousness, you know? So you go, you knock the door, you ask a father, you ask a guardian, you ask a family, the hand of one of the sisters. You're going to a family who is not your family yet, who is not sometimes not your relatives, because some people, they may have marriage with their relatives, that's okay. So you may go to a new house, a new family, new people. So you're gonna knock the door, you're gonna enter this house. This house includes family, includes parents, includes siblings, brothers and sisters, and women, you know. So there's an honor in this house. And I have to keep that honor safe. And I have to consider when I go to that door, when I'm knocking the door, that's also my door. That's also my house. So whatever I accept for my house, accept for my sisters, accept for my family, I should accept it also for the family that I go to engage with, that I ask for the proposal and I ask for the engagement. I have to keep that in mind. Honesty and keeping the honor. This is the Muslim. We're not going to play. We're not going to waste the time. We're not going to an offer or like exhibit to see sisters and they see us and then after that we dissolve everything. No, the engagement is a serious matter and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about it. Today I want you to be engaged with me regarding this session inshallah ta'ala. The definition of khitbah. I want some of you inshallah to define khitbah for me. What does the word khitbah? And khitbah is the engagement, is the period of time that you spend before, you know, I'm not going to give you the definition, but just a hint. The word khitbah, okay? And there's khitbah and khutbah. What's the difference between khitbah and khutbah? Some brothers? Khitbah, khutbah?
Khutbah is a lecture and khitbah is engagement.
Jazakallah khair ya Ali. So khitbah is like a lecture. It's the sermon that we give it every Friday. This is called khutbah, khutbatul jumu'ah. And khitbah is the engagement. So the difference is in kha and khi. Okay, so khu and khi. So khutbah is the lecture that we give, the imams gives in the Friday, and khitbah with kasrah is the engagement that we have with the sisters. So what do you know about khitbah, brothers? The time that you're supposed to know the other person. Ask questions and so on. Is this the khitbah? You can ask questions everywhere. Huh. Khitbah and the sisters.
It's when the guy asks for the girl's hands from her dad.
Yeah, a guy asks for the sister's hands from her dad or any of her guardian. Good. Let's see what khitbah is. The term khitbah, as we said, it refers to serious expression of intent to marry a woman. It is a promise of marriage. Keep that in mind. This is really important. It is not a marriage. It is a promise of marriage, not an actual marriage. Therefore, the woman remains أجنبية. يعني إيه أجنبية أو غريبة؟ يعني not as mahram. Not like my wife. أجنبية, I'm not allowed like to touch her. I'm not allowed to be with her alone. Any of these. This is called the word أجنبية. يعني not mahram. يعني unrelated. And it is prohibited for the man to touch her or treat her as a spouse. This is like, it summarizes a lot for you. If you understand what khitbah is, that will make it easy for you. So first of all, it refers to a serious expression of intent to marry a woman. If it's not a serious intention, don't go. Because this is playing. This is manipulating. And I'm not ready to go, okay, let's go and see what's going to happen. Let's go and check. You're not checking. You're not checking, I mean, you're not making examination. But I mean that you have a serious intention and motivation to go there and to ask for the hand because you asked about this family before. The lectures that we have before. You asked about this family before. You did istishara. You asked some people. You consulted this brother and that sister and this elderly person in the community. So you collected information and you called the father. Can I come to you so and so? So you started this point. You are serious in this regard. If you're not serious, don't go. And I respect one of the brothers. There was a discussion having khitbah with one of the sisters, and then he said, okay, and then after that, in the same night, he said, I'm sorry, I still need more time. So I respected that. He did not want to go to the house and spend some time seeing the family, seeing the mother, seeing the sister, and without serious intention. So I respected that. I said, okay, jazakallahu khairah. So when we have a serious intention to go, so we can go. If we're not ready, if we don't have a serious intention and it just came to your mind, like you're a student and you want to just marry because you see a lot of sisters, a lot of women in the community and so on, and you love to have something like this, and then you're not serious, you don't have a plan, you don't have anything official, you don't have an income, a good income, or at least an income that can be enough for a man and a woman. One of the brothers also, he sent to me that, is it okay that I talk to the family and they're good. They're good with me to let me marry their daughter, and I'm not working yet, and there's no income. So he's not responsible for an income or something like this. And they said they're gonna take care of the daughter, and they're okay with that. But the father, he refused. The father, he said to him, the father of the brother, the suitor. So he said to him, you need to work first. You need to have an income. He did not ask him to be a rich man. He's asking him to have an income. When you go to a house, I have to have this serious step. Because if I cannot take care of my wife, and I let the family of my wife taking care of her, I'm not responsible yet. I'm not. And I think I told you about what Abdul Rahman ibn Auf did. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, when he migrated to Medina, people of Medina, Prophet ﷺ made the brotherhood between them and the muhajirin, the immigrants. So one of them was Sa'd ibn al-Rabi'. He said to Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, here, I have two wives. I will divorce one of them that you choose, and you marry her after her waiting period, after the divorce, and I have half of my money, you can take it. He said, Jazakallahu khayran, barakallahu laka fi ahlikum. Easy life, right? Easy life. He didn't accept it. He wants to be that responsible man. He wants to fight in life. If you get things easy, you're going to lose it easy. You're going to lose it easy. Subhanallah, when we have a lot of activities or classes or things like this, you find people and they're not active, they're not coming, they're not interested. Ask them to pay for these classes, they're going to come every day. They're not going to be absent. Why? Because I pay for it. It's a very serious matter. So when you have some restrictions, some pressures on you, you work hard. You work hard. And this is in the human being nature. So I have to be serious. The father of that suitor, he did not ask him something wrong. He's asking him to be a real man. Because if I'm asking someone to take care of my wife, I don't have a strong opinion. I cannot, if I cannot say this is right, this is wrong. One of the families, the spouse, they came, they asked me to make counseling between them. These are examples. I'm giving you just examples to be serious, to be more responsible. It's something official. These are examples. I'm not intending you to be lost. I'm intending to have, your imagination becomes wider and wider to imagine what's going on. So they came, and he asked that she's not treating me as a man. And she's undermining me all the time. And she does not even take my permission to do things. And she has some clients, they come to the house, and I'm not there. And I said, brother, what is the starting point of this? Did you allow her to work? He said, yes. I said, okay, so why did you allow her to work? I'm not telling him not to let her work, but I'm just asking. So why did you do that? He said, because I'm in need of money. So I said, did you get a loan, for example, from the bank? He said, yes. Why, brother? He said, because I bought a car, I wanted to work, so it's like $40,000. So you can't buy a car like $20,000. Why would you buy a car $40,000? It's easy for you to start easily. She said, she was there, she said, this is the problem. He got this money, and he bought the car, and he made it hard for himself. And he wants me to work and bring income, and at the same time to be, do the best in the house as a wife, as a mother with the kids and everything. And he's asking me to do all the responsibilities I used to do before working. He put her in this situation because of the need of money. And he was unable to control the house. And he was escaping. And he said, I'm going to divorce you right now, and then I'm going to go back home. I don't want you guys. I don't want my kids. 4 kids. He said, I don't want them. This man is not responsible. This man is not serious. So we have to be serious when we come to the step of the khitbah. It is a promise of marriage that, inshallah, I want to marry this sister if you allow me, inshallah. And then the father or the guardian, he says, okay, inshallah, we're satisfied. After taking the opinion of the sister, and she sees him and he sees her, and they talk to one another, they listen to one another, they discuss some matters. Could be 1 time, could be 2 times, could be 3 times. It's okay, because it's a big project. As long as you have, the religion, there's mahram and everything. You have these conditions. You're not doing something haram. It's in the house. It's with the family. It's with the guardians. So why not? So they can sit for 1 time, 2 times, 3 times to decide. I don't know. My wife, she talked 3 times. Every time, call him, bring him here. I said, what's going on, guys? That's enough. They said, no, I want to talk to him more. Bring him here. She made it hard time for me. So Allah musta'an. Please make her dua. She's we're waiting for something. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for her. So please make us dua. So it's a promise of marriage, not an actual marriage. Therefore, the woman remains ajnabiyya. She's not mahram and related to him, and he's not related to her. The common mistakes and common misconceptions in this regard we need to be aware of. When we come to the engagement, we need to be aware of these points. The first thing, it is incorrect for the engaged couples to behave as if they are already married. They are already married, they shake their hands, they sit together alone, they go out, they hang out, they talk with 2 hours, 3 hours, and they express all of the feelings from the first day, which is fake feelings. It's not real feelings. Right now, we talked about the fake feelings last time. It's not yet. You have something like, one of the sisters, she's 30, she's 35, she's 40, whatever, and she's waiting for a marriage. And because she's waiting for a marriage, she sacrifices. She accepts brother, or يعني, and then after a time, in a short time, they do the marriage because she's interested in this and she's afraid if she doesn't make it right now, she's gonna lose it. No, everything with qadr Allah Azza wa Jal. And you're not all is gonna come to you. Everything is by qadr Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And I know one of the sisters, she did something like this, and she was not old. She was still young, like 25 years old. But she was in an environment that all of her colleagues, they got married. And all of her friends, they got married. So she was like, I need to get married, like just to marry. And then it was like 6 months. 6 months, and they got divorced. They didn't know the brother. They didn't know that he was smoking. They didn't know that they said he's so quiet. He's so quiet. By the way, when you know the brother is so quiet, it's not something good, So quiet, he could be like, he doesn't have strong personality. This is not shyness. Sometimes this is fear. And this is what happened to the sister, that they found out that the parents, they control everything. His wallet is with his father. They know nothing. And his wife, she knows nothing about the income, about what's going on, about the budget of the house. She knows nothing about it. He's so quiet, so he prefers to go out. He's so quiet. He works a month outside, and then he comes for a week, should be in the house. No, he goes out as well to spend some time with his friend. He's so quiet. So please, do not take from the outward and the outlook frames, We have to focus in this, That's why it will come with us to know when you talk to the suitor, or when you talk to the person, any person, you have to be careful with defining the terms that you're going to talk about. That's important. We're going to talk about it, inshallah ta'ala. Wearing a ring or reciting Fatiha, because sometimes in some customs and traditions they say, let's read the Fatiha, which means that we start Khitbah. Fatiha means that we start Khitbah. Wearing a ring or reciting Al-Fatiha does not alter their relationship status. These acts do not validate a marriage. It's just still a promise of marriage. Khitbah is merely a declaration that the woman is no longer open to proposals. So if she's engaged with one of the brothers, no one is allowed, and this is going to come with us, no one is allowed to go and ask her for marriage, to talk to the parents if he knows that she is engaged. But if he doesn't know, the parents, they're not allowed to talk to him about this as long as there's a brother. They have to respect that. And Prophet ﷺ did not allow that. If they know that the brother doesn't, the new one, the second one who's coming, if they know that he doesn't know anything about the status of engagement, they're not allowed to open this discussion with him. They should say, there is a brother who got engaged with her, and they have to stop that. So this is the benefit of having the khitbah. You tell people that this is inshallah my future wife, so nobody come to propose for her. So and if either party decides to dissolve the engagement, they are free to do so without obligation or waiting period. It's different from marriage, and we will talk about this inshallah as well at the end. When does khitbah begin? The real khitbah, when does it begin? Is it when we meet with one another, like for the first time? When we have a gathering, when we go to a party, you express the feeling to the family, and they express the satisfaction in a party, in an open area like this, in a public place. So khitbah begins when both parties, of the man and of the sister, typically through their families, like they reach a mutual agreement and satisfaction, and express a clear promise of future marriage. This is clear one. This is not like fake one. Two families or two parties individually, as we see. It may be private discussion that you go alone. This is something private between you and the family. The family, the father, he talks to the sister. She is satisfied, so they get the consent. So khalas, you can do it by yourself. Back home, we take the parents. If you're back home, you're going to take your parents with you as well. So it may be a private discussion between the groom and the woman's guardian with her consent, or a public gathering between the two families, because it has to be serious and official. The customary actions like exchanging rings or reciting Fatiha are cultural and not religious requirements. So if you don't read Al-Fatiha, Habibi, she's still, you're still in engagement. If you did not have a ring, you're still in engagement. Why? Because there is mutual, the first one, mutual agreement and satisfaction. So having a ring or reading Al-Fatiha or any of the Quran, if they say to you, read Surah Al-Baqarah to have the blessings, are you gonna? So this does not mean that this is the only way you can have the engagement. It's just customs and having the blessings. It's not a requirement or something that I have to do it. So once we have this mutual agreement, so it becomes official khitbah. Who can I be engaged to? This is gonna talk about the types of sisters that they're prohibited for me to go and engage with because of like relationship, because of marriage, because of breastfeeding, because of any status. So that depends on the sister that you go to. We have permanent mahram that it's not allowed at all to be engaged with. First one, it's the first group, the blood relationship. The blood relationship like the mother, like the daughter, like the sister, like the aunt, like the niece. The breastfeeding ties, like the foster mother, the foster sisters, and so on. Or marital connections, like mother-in-law, the stepdaughter, the daughter-in-law. All of this is mentioned in chapter number 4, verse 23. حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أُمَّهَاتُكُمْ وَبَنَاتُكُمْ وَأَخَوَاتُكُمْ وَعَمَّاتُكُمْ وَخَالَاتُكُمْ. This is just to keep it in mind because some people, they do mistakes. And after that, they figure out that they just did, marriage for one of their relatives, especially for the breastfeeding. That's why I have this note that the woman should not breastfeed a child outside her home without her husband's permission. We have a story back home that one of the lady, she, mashallah, she breastfeed the whole street. Allahumma barik. She made all of them haram to marry one another. A great woman, mashallah. So this is not allowed, It has to be done after the permission of the husband. This house, they can keep their baby with you, and you can have that. And this house is not. So this must be done under the permission of the family. They have to talk to one another about this. We have temporary prohibition. Temporary, it means that she is prohibited for me to marry her for a period of time. After that period of time or that case, I can marry her. Wake up with me. Wake up, okay? Fine. An apostate, a person who turned away from the religion. If they become Muslims, so this is temporary. If they become Muslims, they can marry them. A non-Muslim who's not from the people of the book, like atheist or agnostic or none or any of this. So if they become Muslims, they can marry them. A fifth wife, yes, exceeding the allowed 4, because the allowed number is 4. And by the way, polygamy, guys, polygamy is allowed. Polygamy, having several wives, this is something allowed. And I say allowed, you have to be, understand my words very well. I say allowed, I don't say prescribed. I don't say sunnah, I don't say mustahab. Something preferable, something encouraged, something recommended. I said it's allowed. Allowed, you can do it. It's halal to do it. It's mubah, it's permissible to do it. But we say, we have to keep that in mind. As we said before, Abdul Rahman, okay? As we said before, once you think about something like this, you have to think about many things together. You have to think about al-adl, the justice that you need to achieve. You have to think about the first wife. Are you gonna make it easy for her or not? She's gonna ask for divorce. Let her divorce. You're gonna lose many things. You're gonna lose your kids. You're gonna lose the love, the first love that you had. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep in mind that you're responsible for 2 families, and I have to take care of them. And most important, you have to keep the ruling and the constitution and the law of the country that you live at. What country we are living at? United States, right? Do they allow polygamy? They're not allowing polygamy. Do they ask us to do something haram? They're not asking us to do something haram. So once you enter the United States of America and you got the seal on your passport, that means that you submit to the law of that state. So they ask you not to have a second wife, you're not having a second wife. They're not asking you to do something haram. You have to respect that. You want to make it and your wife is okay with that and everything is okay and you make sure that you will make it in the best way, khalas. You can make it in a different place in which they allow. They do not allow it here. Let's make it under the table. You don't have to. You don't have to do something like that. You're betraying the promise of that country when they put the seal on it. That's something serious. Some people, they say, Sheikh, what are you talking about? Half of the community haven't, No, this shouldn't be done. You admitted the law of this country. You're in a different place, khalas, you do whatever you want. So justice, the responsibility to take care of the two families, and also the law, as long as they're not asking you to do something haram. Yani if they ask you once you come to the airport, they ask you, you have to drink alcohol. No, I'm not going to enter. Send me back. You have to eat pork. I'm not going to enter. Send me back. But here, we have only one wife. So it's halal to have one wife and halal to have two wives. Khalas. They giving you options of two things to choose amongst them, and this is their law. Khalas. You admit that. Some people, they may disagree with me, but this is what I believe is the right thing. Okay? The respect that we give, and this is, you show that you respect the constitution of others as long as they don't ask you to do something haram, and that shows the real responsibility of the Muslim regarding others. Also, a woman in iddah. Iddah is the waiting period. This is like temporary prohibition. A woman, she was divorced, and one of the people in the community, he knew that this lady was divorced, and then he wanted to be engaged with her. He is not allowed to ask her for marriage during the waiting period of after the divorce. Like if the divorce or death, this is waiting period, there will be a waiting period. The waiting period after death is what? 4 أشهر و10, 4 months and 10 days. And the waiting period after divorce, 3 times of menstruation. So after this, the person can go and propose for the marriage. And there is a note, important one, that I will mention after this, that it is not allowed for the man to communicate in a way or another, haram way. Texting, calling a sister who's married. Could you please, you ask her to be divorced for the sake of marrying her. You promise, I will marry you. I will bring you so and so. This man is not appreciating you. And by the way, this is one of the problems in the community. If we want to keep our wives safe, we make dua, we make salah, good deeds and so on. And also, we appreciate them. We make them feel that they doing the right thing as long as they're doing that. We appreciate whatever they do as long as they did it, even if it's something very little. The good word. This is electricity. This is electricity. Thunder came down, I saw it. Wallahi. There's a dua of thunder. You say, Rabbi wa Rabbuka Allah. My Lord and your Lord is Allah. And you say, Subhana alladhi yusabbihu ar-ra'du bihamdihi wal malaikatu min khifatih. Glory be to Allah, the one to whom the thunder makes tasbih. This thunder, when you see it, it makes tasbih. Subhanallah, tasbih, subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. So it makes tasbih to Allah. And the angels, they make tasbih out of fear from Allah Azza wa Jalla. So you say, Subhanallah, glory be to Allah. Everything makes tasbih to Allah. Even the thunder. That is one of the soldiers of Allah Azza wa Jalla. When we see something like this, we have to be reminded. It's not something like funny. It's something very serious. We make dua during it. And we glorify Allah Azza wa Jalla. We were saying, a woman in the duration of iddah, after the duration of iddah, the people, they can be engaged with her. طيب. Your wife's sister, the wife's sister, or her maternal, paternal aunt, you're not allowed to marry the wife's sister or to be engaged with her until you divorce or God forbids, Allah forbids, she dies. After that, you can propose to be engaged with her sister. And Uthman ibn Affan, radiallahu anhu, he said that. Uthman ibn Affan, he married one of the daughters of the Prophet, Ruqayya, and after her death, he married Kulthum. Okay? Two daughters of the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam. The aunt of my wife, I'm not allowed to marry her until also to divorce or the wife dies. And from the two sides, from the father's side and from the mother's side. A married woman who's already married, I can't be in engagement with her. This is not allowed. The one who already in the state of engagement, if she's in the state of engagement, I cannot go and undermine my brother to ask her for marriage. And there are some people, they're so sneaky. I come to one person, I'm not gonna name because some people, I come to some people, for example, one person comes to his friend. What do you think of this family? He says, yeah, they're so bad. Don't go there. I saw them doing a lot of bad things. And the next day he goes and he's engaged with her. Yeah, that's not allowed. This khiyana, this is betrayal. Be truthful. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. If you have any intention or anything, you can tell. You can tell. Be honest. Be honest. Allah will ask if I can deceive my brother or deceive my sister. Today, I will not do it in the day of judgment. And there will be in the day of judgment something called qisas. Qisas? What is qisas exactly? The equal thing that I can take my right. Huh? Not revenge. Oh, could be. Like
Justice?
Could be justice as well. So that Allah will give the justice to everyone. I lost my right in the dunya, I will take it in the day of judgment. Someone consumed my money without any right, I will take it in the day of judgment. And that's a big problem, by the way. In the day of judgment, I'm not going to take it in the form of money. I'm going to take it in the form of hasanat. I'm going to take from his hasanat. But his hasanat finished, I will give him my sayyi'at on his sayyi'at. That's really bad. So we have to keep that in mind. Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا يخطب الرجل على خطبة أخيه. It is not allowed for the man to make khitbah, which is the engagement, while his brother having that khitbah with the sister. It's not allowed for him. It's not allowed for him to do something like this. إلا أن يترك أو يأذن له. Unless the first surah, he says, okay, let's go. I'm not comfortable with this sister, so I'm gonna, by the way, leave her by any chance. So you can go, inshallah. I will talk to the family and I will dissolve the engagement, and then after me you can do something like this. So he left the sister and he allowed that. As long as he allowed and he left, it's okay. But for you to go and undermine him and you step on him to do the engagement without having this condition, this is not gonna work. Also, the temporary prohibition that during ihram, if you in ihram, hajj and umrah, some mothers, they feel very compassionate. They're so compassionate about their kids. I want to marry. She goes to hajj. She's looking for sisters from the United States of America. Okay, you're from US. Come here, sit with me. I want to talk to you about something. They're in hajj, in the tenets of hajj, in the Arafat. So I have look at him. He's so cute, mashallah. Look at him, he's so amazing. He's obeying me and he's not, He's doing everything, he's so responsible, his income is so high, mashallah. Let's have the engagement and they talk about it. This is not allowed. This is not allowed in Hajj. And while having the case of Ihram, people, they do Umrah or Hajj, it's not allowed for them to have engagement, to have marriage contract. So after that, they can talk about it. So this is temporary prohibition. Once ihram is lifted, so khitbah becomes permissible. Important note. It is a major sin. It is a major sin to interfere in someone else's marriage with intention of marrying the spouse. It is a major sin that I interfere in the life of one of the families to destroy them, to corrupt, for the sake of having the wife of that man, or vice versa, that the sister talks to her friend, asking her to be divorced. Life is not going to continue. You have a lot of problems, guys. So why would you have something like this? And she corrupts between both of them in order to be married from that man. This is not allowed. قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام ليس منا من خبب امرأة على زوجها. It means he is not one of us who asks a woman to divorce her husband or who seeks to destroy a household. You know the meaning? ليس منا. He's not one of us. Like, he's not a real Muslim. And the scholar said, any text says, ليس منا, ليس منا, ليس منا, he's not one of us. That's one of the signs of a major sin. A major sin. And we shouldn't open our ears to something like this. This is something haram. I have to stop it. And we have to keep it in mind. If I keep just fighting, I will make my spouse, I will ask her, I will urge her to hate me. And this universe, this world is very bad, full of evil. And I have to keep that. والشيطان يجري من ابن آدم مجرى الدم. The shaitan, Satan, comes and whispers. And we're human being. We're human being. So I have to keep that in mind. I have to solve problems as soon as possible. Not because I don't trust my wife or she doesn't trust me, but I want to have peace in the house. We trust one another. That's why we married one another. And we don't want to break this promise. It is not allowed to have long isolation or separation, that you don't talk to one another, that you don't ask about one another. Wallahi, many families, they complain a lot. He doesn't pay anything. He doesn't pay the rent, the bills. He doesn't visit us. And he just comes to fight with us. One of the sisters, yesterday, she's telling me that whenever he comes, he doesn't eat at home. Why? Because he believes that she is putting poison in the food. And they have 4 kids. And Allah is my witness, one of the best sisters, one of the best mothers, very kindful. Allahumma barik. I know her very well from the community, mashallah. Amazing mother. May Allah bless her and give her peace. And so he's like, you want to kill me. You want to do something wrong. What kind of men are those people? So this is not, I have to keep my family safe before the monsters come from outside and try to attack. The monsters, they come from human beings and they come from jinn as well. So I'm not going to open my house to something like this. Prophet ﷺ, he said, let not a woman ask for the divorce of her sister in order to marry her husband. He said, what Allah has decreed for her will come to her. Do you believe in that or not? You have to believe in that, my sisters. What Allah has decreed for you will come to you, even if the whole world is trying to stop that from happening. This is Allah's decree. When is going to happen? Here is the test. That's why ulama says, القدر سر الله في خلقه. Qadar, destiny, the decree, is the secret of Allah in His creation. We don't know anything about anything coming in the future. We don't know anything about our choices, our decisions. So it's in the hand of Allah. That's why you do istikhara. You do istikhara, you do istikhara, you do istikhara to get the best choice, inshallah ta'ala. Permissible actions for the khitbah. Finally, we have something permissible in the khitbah. So things are allowed in the khitbah. This is something important to keep it in mind. Seeing the bride to be his face and hands. The bride who's going to be the bride in the future, I want to see her face. I want to see her hand, to see, to judge the whole body. That's something Prophet ﷺ, as in Sahih Muslim, he urged the believers to have it. And also the sister, to see the man. Because she's gonna live with that man, so she has to accept his face, his shape, and everything. Okay? And what, it's different from one another, You may like something that the others, they may not like it. So it is not like one rule in the vision, okay? Prophet ﷺ, he instructed the suitors to look at the prospective bride to encourage affection. The affection, the love, the relationship, the connection. Because if I don't see the sister and I just like niqab all the time, like from the first day I didn't see the face, how can I judge that this sister is accepted for me or not? She saw me, so I have to see her as well. As I said, you can do that one time, you can do that 2 times if needed, you can do that 3 times, that's okay, as long as there is respect and there is rules in the family circle. طيب. Conversing in the presence of her male guardian, that you have conversation. And I say male guardian, I shouldn't say male guardian, I just should say guardian. But I said male guardian because some people think that the mother is a guardian. The mother is not a guardian.
What if she doesn't have any males in the family?
What if she comes to the imam? If she doesn't have any male in the family, so what do you mean?
Like no father, no brother.
But there are some people in different states, for example, they need to come.
No.
If there is no one, they need to talk on a video call in a public place. If there is no one, no man, and she is a revert, she is a no Muslim, she has to be with one of the trusted imams. Okay? So conversing in the presence of her male guardian. The mother is not a guardian. The sister is not a guardian. My younger sister is not a guardian. My younger brother is not a guardian because there are some silly things happen, They say, hey, you can go outside, take the 7-year-old kid with you. He's gonna, he's gonna take care. No, he's gonna give him ice cream and then he's gonna do everything. It's not gonna work. A lollipop, just it's gonna change everything. The lollipop, okay? So if no guardian is available, the imam may fulfill this rule. Okay? So this is the answer of your question. Going out in public, that's allowed, inshallah, with guardian present. Hey, that man is making hard time. So this guardian is like, I want to swallow. Give me some water. No, it's not going to work. No, going out in public with the guardian present, occasional public outings are allowed with a mahram. Wallahi, that's important, my dear brothers and sisters. If you say, I trust in myself, I can control myself. You cannot control the other one. You cannot control the other one. You cannot control the world around you. And Islam came to keep one of the major things, which is the honor. The honor. And the best thing, most valuable thing sisters have is the reputation. That people, they do not talk about her. What if I go out, I touch the hand, I call during the night, we have mutual feelings, we do everything, mashallah, we talk about everything. And then the next day, he's not my suitor anymore. He's not in the engagement, he dissolved it, he finished it, he ended it up. What's going to happen if the whole people in the whole community, they see them coming in one car together, they travel together, they go to trips together, and they go, out together, the whole community. So people will talk about it. They're going to say, take care. This sister, she was not married to the brother, and she accepted to have something like that. So that's going to destroy the reputation of the sister. And this is the most important thing that sisters have, reputations. The reputation, sum'ah. Okay, that's important. So if I allow myself to do things like this, I shouldn't allow to do it for the sister, because if I love this family, if I respect this family, so I have to keep in mind that tomorrow I might not be that man who's gonna marry her and she's gonna be engaged with another man. So I have to respect that very well. Family visits are permitted during the engagement. It's okay. This strengthens the relationship, and this is, one of the purpose when people marry. So, reminder, the purpose of Khitbah is to gain clarity, understanding, and ensure you are making the right choice. It is not the place or the time. You just express feelings after feelings after feelings. And, that this brother is trustworthy when he can control himself. When he comes to talk, he can control himself. He doesn't open a discussion of like love all the time and so on. This will come in the real love after the marriage. Most important thing, I want to know the person. Is it good? And what type of goodness does he have? And if he's religious or not, responsible or not, generous or not. You want to judge the character that you will live with. And after that, the love, inshallah, will come. As long as you made sure that you fulfill the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal in your life. And also for the sister as well, you want to know how she talks, how she thinks, and so on. So these things are allowed in the marriage. Prohibited actions during the khitbah. Prohibited actions. Things prohibited, I shouldn't do it. Talking during in the phone. Talking on the phone, by the way, you can talk on the phone as long as there's like rules. Like I sit with the family, she sits with her family, and he's talking to her, and they're not talking about something like not allowed, because this discussion could be done also in the house. And the scholar said, is it khalwa or not? When you talk on the phone, is it gonna be khalwa? Khalwa that you sit together. Is it gonna be sit together? It's not gonna be that thing. But you can talk as long as you're like in front of someone of your family, and you can speak loudly, you discuss things, it's okay. And you're not speaking, for example, on the phone in a late time, like 12, 1, 2, or something like this. You're not talking for a long time. You're not talking every day frequently. So you can have some discussions on the phone. That will be okay, inshallah. Also, what things prohibited, guys? Taking pictures, excellent. It's important. And I will talk about this. Thank you, sister. Because taking the pictures together, that's really dangerous. That's really dangerous. Think about it. Think about it. As I said, tomorrow, I'm not going to continue this anymore. And I still have a picture of the sister. Many people, as I said, monsters, they go and they share these pictures everywhere, and they destroy the reputation of the sister. They destroy her life because of a picture. And many people, they have that. And they have it on their profile and everything. Even if you are respectful, and you respect everything, and she respects you as well, and you just share pictures, what will people say about this? They're not going to give you a hand. They're going to give you hasad and jealousy. They're going to also destroy this part of happiness if you think that this is happiness in your life. So I have to avoid that for the sake of keeping the honor of the family. Okay, khalwa. Things are not allowed. Let's see. Khalwa, being alone. By the way, is صوت المرأة عورة? The voice of the ladies, is it awra? Is not awra. Is not awra. Okay? So the voice of the lady is not awra as long as she respects the way she speaks. Is not awra. al-Mu'mineen Aisha, she used to teach people. She used to narrate the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Salama and Hafsa bint Sirin, and all the wives of the Prophet alayhi wasallam. So Sawtul Mar'a is not awra. Okay? But if the women, when they come to speak, they have to be serious. They're not like playing with the sound or something like this. So they do not make fitna. If they feel that their fitna happen because of the voice, she doesn't speak. But she cannot say that this is awra or not allowed to speak. Okay? طيب. Khalwa, being alone. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا يحل لامرئ يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر أن يخلو بامرأة من غير ذي محرم. He said, no man should be alone with a woman unless she is accompanied by a mahram. This is not allowed. This is a serious matter. Many brothers and sisters, they destroy their lives because they just open everything. This is marriage. This is still engagement. She's still not my wife. She's still gharib, ajnabiyya, not related to me. So we're not relatives. We cannot have this gathering together without having a mahram. And I say mahram, real mahram, not 6 years old, 7 years old. Real mahram. The mahram, the one who can conduct the marriage. If the father is not there, it's not like, so the father, if the father is not there, so the brother who can conduct the marriage. A brother who's like 10 years old, he cannot conduct the marriage. 13 years old, he cannot. He has to be baligh. Reach out the age of puberty, and he knows what is happening. Touching is forbidden. She is not your wife. The Prophet ﷺ, Aisha radiallahu anha says, Prophet ﷺ never shook hands with a woman while taking pledges. You know, pledge in Surah Al-Mumtahana, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين. It's a long verse. So Allah says to Prophet, when the women, they come and give you the pledge and follow you, that they do not associate partners with Allah, they do not fornicate, they do not steal. So this is bay'ah. With men, Prophet, he was taking the bay'ah like this. This is bay'ah. That I give you the pledge, I'm not going to break this promise. With the sisters, Prophet never touched a woman when he gave them the pledge. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He never shook hands with a woman while taking pledges. And Prophet ﷺ is mahram lil ummah. He's like protection for the whole ummah and for the women of the whole ummah. However, he didn't shake a hand. He didn't shake the hand. Prophet ﷺ. Exchanging or taking pictures together. My dear brothers and sisters, protect dignity and safety of all parties. Protect that. And the honor is one of the things Islam came to protect. This is your question. Last time. What will you talk about? What will you talk about? I need to hear some opinions in this regard. The Aqidah and with the scholars? Yeah, the scholars that you hear, the scholars that you listen to, and his Aqidah. He's not going to come again to the house. Now wait. These things, you can ask about Aqidah, you can ask about everything. But how do you ask about this? This is how is important. You can ask every question you want, but how is the most important. So if you ask me what is your Aqidah, by the way, if you ask me guys what is your Aqidah, are you Ash'ari or Salafi, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to answer you. I blocked one of my students after 4 years, he's asking me about Aqidah. I blocked him. Get out of here. He is not smart. And then I talked to him after that. But I told him, listen, there must be a way of asking.
We get mad.
That's okay. What would you do if I get sick or you get sick and we don't have money? Very good question. Direct one. And you need to bring like the situations, because real things happen in the situations, not like in the normal speech. And
what would you do if I lose my job, or if
actually I asked that question.
If I get sick, if I cannot work?
Yeah, I asked that question. What will you do? One of the questions they asked, what will you do if I go to Africa to make da'wah and you don't hear any news about me? What did she say? She said, I'm going to go with you. Allahu Akbar. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Is this recorded? Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, she's having a hard time. I apologized for her like 10 times today that I'm not there. Because I must be there. I must be there. May Allah forgive me.
I'm asking a question.
Wallahi, you're talking about me.
Okay.
You're talking about me. This is the best strategy. That you talk about yourself. Because let's see the rules, guys, because I don't want to waste your time. Let's see the rules. Everyone concerns differ from the other. You have to keep it in mind. Everyone concerns differ from the other. But there are basics that everyone can share. Everyone can share. That she must wear hijab, for example, unless this man is not like, he doesn't know anything about hijab. He has to pray, she has to pray the 5 times. The 5 times. They have to be good to the parents. Okay? She has to obey him as long as he's not asking her to do something haram. He has to respect her and appreciate her. This is like basics. We have basics in life. What basics we can have, guys?
What kind of job you have?
What kind of job? Halal or haram? So you're asking about halal and haram? Okay? So focus on the basics. The basics, you need to know what the basics are. So for example, lease clothes. This is basics or not basics? Basics. Basics. Because if it's narrow clothes, if it's tight clothes, so this is haram, and I'm not allowed to do something haram in my house. Okay? طيب, wear a niqab. Basics or not basics?
Not basics.
Not basics. Not basics. So I'm going to talk about hijab, the white hijab, and so on. طيب, we want to talk about niqab. I'm going to talk about it, but not from the side that it's a basic thing, but something I love to have. And for example, I didn't tell my wife she wasn't wearing niqab. I didn't tell her you have to wear niqab. I didn't say that. I said I love my wife to have her face only for me, not for the whole world. I love that. Do you love that? She was interested in that. And she wore the niqab the first after like marriage, because her family, they did not want her to wear the niqab. She's not doing haram. If the family say do not wear niqab, they're not asking her to do something haram. So, for my point of view, according to the scholars, what I learned, I believe I have to have it. So that for me was something basic. So I asked her, I talked about her about this, and she loved the idea, and she applied it after the marriage. We went the first vacation, like after 1 month, with the niqab. And alhamdulillah, that was something okay. They loved it, and they supported her, alhamdulillah. So this is not a basic thing for some people. So you have to choose the basic things that you talk about. Be careful, you are not in an exam. Answer me. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. What is your aqidah? What is the shuyukh that you learn from? What is the lectures that you attend? It is not what. Don't use what. Take it easy. Open a discussion. I love Sheikh, Sheikh in a Muslim Sheikh, like Sheikh al-Huwaini from in Egypt. You don't know Sheikh al-Huwaini. I love Sheikh ibn Uthaymeen. I love to listen to Sheikh ibn Uthaymeen. And what's your thoughts about him? What do you think about his lectures? Did you hear him before? Did you hear him before? Okay. Shuyukh that you love, could you share one of the shuyukh? I can learn from him because I trust in your opinion, I trust in your opinion, the way that you listen to the shuyukh, I trust I can get benefit from shuyukh that you can listen to. So, by the way, my wife, she sends me some things, like for different shuyukh. So you have to, anything that they share it with you, you have to, out of appreciation, you listen, you watch, you make your report. So when they ask you, they're going to ask you about it. Because if you say, I didn't watch it, so it means that you're careless. You're careless about their opinions. You're careless about what they choose. They shouldn't be they must listen to the same sheikh I listen to. As long as the sheikh is not saying something against the basics of the religion, he's not denying things. Like some shuyukh, they deny adhab al-qabr, na'im al-qabr, the life in the barzakh after death in the graves and these stuff. They don't believe that sunnah is something important in the world. So those people are going to destroy the mentality. So I shouldn't listen to. And if they listen to them, so I have to give the advice. If I'm ready to continue with a mentality like this. So you talk about yourself, as you said before, it is not an exam. Share ideas, open topics, and start having conversations about what. Okay, so what do you think? You can start. You say, what do you think about circles of knowledge? Circles of knowledge from your point of view. Is there something important in life? Okay, because we're human beings. For me, myself, I have to go to scholars. I ask them, and I seek knowledge from them, the guidance, so they can tell me what exactly to do. They're not controlling me. I have my mind, but I seek their experience from the Islamic point of view. So everyone must have a background, reference. So who's the reference that you would prefer for me that I choose or I listen to? Something like this, So it does not have to be direct questions. You can easily start beneficial topics, then you include your questions in this topic that you're talking about. Be well prepared, and before you ask someone, you need to ask yourself the same question. This is what I asked you. When you said, what is your goal? You ask yourself, what is your goal first? Okay, what is your aqidah? What is your shuyukh? Ask yourself first. If you're going to ask this question and you're going to talk about this topic. So if you want to classify yourself, how can you classify yourself? So I follow the Quran and Sunnah according to the understanding of our predecessors. Because Salafi today, could be a party. We have a party in Egypt called Salafiyya. Okay, and in different places. So Salafiyya, the group of people, they call themselves Salafiyya. They listen to some shuyukh, some certain shuyukh. They never open their minds to different things. They have some certain opinions. And the shuyukh for them are kitab and sunnah. If the shaykh says something, even if there's like different opinions in it, I'm not gonna discuss it with you. This is a group, it's called group of Salafiyya. But Salafiyya means, what Salafiyya means? The first generations, 3 generations after the life of the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba, Tabi'een, Tabi'een. This is the understanding. If you can classify yourself this way, this is real Muslim. And you can say, I'm a Muslim. You cannot, if there's like controversial terms in the real life, do not use them. Like if it's Salafiyya is controversial, so you can say, I'm a Muslim, believe in the Quran and Sunnah, and love the Sahaba and follow this generation. Sahaba, Tabi'een. You did not put yourself under any of the groups. So nobody can classify you. If they classify you because of your beard, this is their mistake. So if they ask you some questions because they see a beard, they see thobe, they see different things like this, and they ask you, do you listen to, for example, do you listen to Shaykh al-Fawzan? Oh, he's listening to Shaykh al-Fawzan. I'm not gonna be engaged with him. Who said that? Do you listen to Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen? I'm not gonna be engaged with him. No, this is not the right way of judging people. This is not the right way of judging people. We don't judge people because of the outward. We have to speak with them, to have their understanding, their thoughts about any matter that you're talking about. So be well prepared. Prepare yourself before you go and ask anything. And ask yourself every question you're going to ask it for yourself. If you can answer, inshallah, that's something good. Because you will be asked the same question. And you can say, by the way, anything that I discuss with you, you can ask me, by the way, to break the ice and let her ask you freely about this. The same thing is also needed with the requests and goals. You ask yourself about what you need from her. For example, I don't want her to work. So you need to keep that in mind. She's going to ask you about your work. The income, she's going to ask you about that. The family, if you're going to ask about the past, she's going to ask about the past. You're going to keep that in mind. This is a request. You request her, you request her to raise your kids. So you're going to be asked about raising the kids. Raising the kids. How are you going to raise the kids? How are you going to upbring the kids? You ask her to be good. For example, you say, one of the things I need in my wife, to be the best to my parents. You will be asked, but are you going to be the best to my parents? Yes. So you're so excited. You don't know. You're so excited. And the next day, you're not dealing the parents in the best way. You're breaking your promise. You don't know what you're doing. Every question, every request, every goal. I want to have peace in life. I want to have religion in the family. But what kind of religion? What kind of religion? Like atheism, they call it like thoughts. It's a thought, a kind of thought. So what kind of religion? Corrupt religion or sound religion? Based on Quran and Sunnah and Hadith and this life. Or based on fake practices that we only see the shapes. And out of the shapes, they destroy the families. She was praying the night prayer. She was wearing niqab. And she was like reading 3 juz a day. And she was the worst with her husband. She was the worst with his husband. So it's not the shape, So niqab is a very beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. Important for the sister to keep her chastity safe and everything. Reading the Quran is a very beautiful thing. Volunteering. She's volunteering. She's volunteering a lot and a lot and a lot. The husband, he doesn't see her. He doesn't see her. Because she's volunteering a lot and a lot, and she believes that this is the way I can get closer to Allah. Also, you can get closer to Allah once you wait for your husband. Wait for your husband, So requests, whatever you request the sister, that I need you to be the best to my kids. You have to be the best to your kids. Okay, what do you think about travel? What do you think about, having Hajj or Umrah? What do you think about buying a house from the bank? Buying, dealing with riba, the interests. If we need it, You know, we need to build a house. People, they love to have houses, they love have fancy cars and so on. So what is your thought in this regard? You will be asked about this as well. Okay? And many houses were destroyed because of dealing in riba, in usury. One of the sisters, she was calling me. She's telling me about a family. If you see this family, you say 100% the best family in the world. I didn't imagine that this family, they have a problem. She called and she was telling me about things and things and things and things and things. I said, A'udhu Billah, how do you guys deal with one another? I think there's shaitan in the house. Guys, do you deal in riba? She said, yes, we have a loan. I said, this is shaitan. Yes, there's shaitan in the house. And you have to get rid of this shaitan as soon as possible. So talking about these things, having goals, the requests, that you open it, that you ask for, be ready to set the best example, not to show off, not to change just, you know, the mentality of people in front of you, just to show off. No. Think about the meaning of every question first. Think about the meaning of every question. Like, for example, I love for my wife to be practice Muslim. What does it mean, practice Muslim? The loud voice, is it like practice Muslim? Beating, is it practice Muslim? The way of dressing, which is not Islamic or moderate, this is practice Muslim? She's arguing with the parents all the time. She's showing I'm strong because I'm the oldest one. And my decision and my opinion, everyone needs to follow and obey. Is that practice Muslim?
No.
When the parents are shy to talk to her, or to share an opinion, or to you, or to share an opinion with you, just because you're all the time, you just argue, you're tough. You know, is that practice Muslim? He went to Saudi Arabia, and he stayed there, he married there, and he believes that this is the right thing. And he called his sister. He said, why are you staying there? Come to Saudi Arabia. This is a bad place that you should stay there. Okay, I agree with you. She has a mother, and she is his mother. And the daughter, the sister, his sister, she's taking care of their mother. And he says, let's come to Saudi. Come here to Saudi. Leave your mother alone. She can take care of herself. Is this practice Muslim? Is this practice Muslim? Is he achieving, like, you know, the right way of thinking, of taking decisions? You leave your mother just because she is originally American? What? What kind of people is this? This is not practice Muslim, you know? So we have to keep that in mind, which is, before you ask any question, you need to know the meaning of that term that you will ask about, like practice Muslim, like hijab. What do you mean by hijab? Is it just like something that you threw it in the hair and the neck is okay for you and the chest is okay for you? And one of the brothers, I was talking to him and he said, you know, there is one brother, I wanted to connect them, and the father, he said, the brother, I talked to him, I said that he's interested in the hijab and these matters. He said, no, she has, mashallah, the best hijab. Allahumma barik. She is very practiced Muslim. I was in the communication. He shared with me something, so I can share it on my phone, so he's not trusting to send it to others. So we were sharing that thing. I didn't share it. I actually didn't share it because they shouldn't. This is not hijab. This is not hijab at all. The neck and it's very tight clothes. This is not something good. And for amana, I brought the brother. He said, no, this is not what I want. And he's not like, he's not tough or anything. He's a normal man. He needs practice Muslim. So we need to have the terms to understand. What do you think of hijab? Hijab from what perspective? Some people, they believe that hijab is not outside. It's okay just to have it only in the house of Allah. But outside, no. It's okay not to have hijab. Okay? So practice Muslim, hijab. Generous. You know, that you say that he is stingy or that he is generous. So how do you define this term? He's not giving me a lot of money to buy whatever I want. This does not mean that he's stingy. Or that he's bringing a gift with him whenever he comes. This does not also mean that he's all the time he's generous. So you have to Focus on these terms. From what kind? And generosity, is it only money? Or is it a good word? A good way of dealing with people. He's so generous with my parents, he's taking care of them, and he's asking about them, he's calling them, and so on. One of the brothers, he's going to Hajj. MashaAllah, may Allah give us all Hajj. This brother, he paid Hajj $23,000. $23,000 per person. He paid for him, and he paid for his wife. And his wife, the parents of his wife, they passed away. He wanted to make Hajj on their behalf. So he didn't make Hajj, so they need someone who already did Hajj so that he can make Hajj on their behalf. He paid for 2 people in Saudi Arabia so they can make Hajj on behalf of the father and the mother of his wife. This man is generous. I went to him and kissed his head. I said, may Allah bless you. May Allah bless you. And I said to the wife, please withhold this man. This man is amazing. Thousands of dollars. You're talking about around $70,000. Over than this, or over than this. Why? To be generous. Hijab, generous, shy. As I said, he's not talking. Calm down. She's not talking a lot and so on. Calm down. Because this is not a sign that he's shy or afraid. Moderate. How can you define this term? And etc. Do not share your feelings quickly. Calm down. The sisters, calm down. Do not donate your heart. Your heart is so valuable. So if you say today, I love you, you're going to be responsible for that. Is it love or fake? What kind of love? What do you mean, I love you? What do you mean the word love? What does it mean? It means sacrifice. If they're not ready to sacrifice, they don't love one another. If they cannot be patient, they don't love. This is not real love. It's not just a word. So it's very valuable word. Not in 2 weeks or 3 weeks after engagement, you can decide that I love that man or he loves that lady. This is not enough. Do not donate your heart quickly because of just you're excited about marriage. No, take it easy. Take it easy. Inshallah, think about it. Important considerations about ending the khitbah. Allah forbids. It is permissible to dissolve the engagement for valid reasons. That you don't like something in the sister, she doesn't like something in you, peacefully, you dissolve it easily. It's not gonna be like nikah. No formal statement is required. Like in nikah, they have to say you're divorced. No, they can just say, I think she has a better choice for her, she can have a better man better than me and can have a better sister, and they make dua for one another. You may be engaged multiple times. Remember that. 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. This is not a sign that you're a bad person. This is a sign there's the mentality, there is no compatibility. That's okay. But as I said, with the restrictions, imagine that a brother and a sister, a sister, she's engaged with like 5 brothers. And with everyone, they make party. With everyone, they have rings. With everyone, they have pictures. With everyone, they go outside. People are not going to go to her anymore. Because of their reputation. So we have to keep that in mind for the sake of keeping the honor. Gifts should be let go out of generosity. You shouldn't ask for it, out of generosity. But if it's needed, something like is not used, something is not like a phone, like a laptop, like these things that you can get back, like a car, mashallah, you can get back. But it's like food, if like, cook something eaten or used, so you don't ask for it. This is like stinginess, So prefer to keep the engagement private to protect from envy. This is a weak hadith. This is a hadith, but it's a weak hadith. People said, the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, keep the engagement private to protect and open and announce nikah, the contract of marriage. This is a weak hadith, but some people they depend on it that you make it privately is better, much more better, so that you don't make like any bad reputations, you don't make any bad or negative things for the sister or something like this. Some scholars talked about the gifts, like if the reason of dissolving the engagement is me, so I leave the gifts. If the reason is her, so she gives back the gifts. This is like one of the opinions. Did you get this point? So this is like the rule in this regard. If you have questions, I think the slides, mashallah, answered all of the questions, or most of them.
Sharing pictures or make video calls. How was the person engaging is somewhere out of the US,
How do you see that? If they have a family here, you can see the pictures. His brother is asking, how can you see a picture of a sister that you're gonna marry, and she's like back home? You cannot go to visit her and see her. So you find one of the relatives here trustworthy who can show you the picture, and that would be easy for you. That would be easy. A good. Or you make like video call with the family. Part of your family, they sit with you, your family, and her family, they sit with her. So it's family gathering on Zoom meeting. So one of the brothers and the sisters, they're from 2 different states. They can have a Zoom meeting, okay? Video call, and the 2 families, they sit together, they can see one another. This is ru'ya shar'iyya, this is legal. There is nothing wrong with that. Without hijab, the sisters with the sisters, that's okay. If the mother, she wants to see the sister hair, and by the way, the brother wants, for example, to make sure that her hair is good, and he doesn't want to see something haram. How can he does it? He can ask his mother, could you, request it nicely, gently, Could you make wudu? Let's come make wudu nicely, so they can see something. Sisters with sister, because this is not forbidden between the sisters. The sister asked, should brothers still approach sisters if they have income, but they have debt? Again, should brothers still approach sisters? Yeah, they can approach if they have income, but they have debt. Many of us have debts. I don't think that, none of us, of the people who married without a debt. Many people, they had debts, and they make tawakkul ala Allah, and they pay off these debts to continue with life. Otherwise, the people are not going to marry. If the potential brother comes to a sister's father, and she's getting to know him, but his iman doesn't displease her, but it does not please her either, but it pleases her family or many people. You have the decision. You're the one who's going to decide. Will she be blameworthy if she rejects this brother based on this hadith? No, you have a reason. You have to show the reason. What is the thing that you don't accept? His iman is not good. What do you mean? But his iman, because this word is very strong. His iman is not good. For example, when he visits you, it's the time of prayer. He doesn't go on to pray, and he stays. He prefers to say, no, his iman is not good, because he has to go and pray as soon as possible. Okay? How do you know if a bad dream is from istikhara? Is there a way to know the difference between a normal dream and special one? And can you say to a brother, based on a dream you saw after praying a lot of istikhara? By the way, one of the misconceptions that people have is that they connect istikhara with dreams. They connect istikhara with the dreams. No, the istikhara is that you ask Allah, oh Allah, give me guidance in this regard. And then you continue doing it. Okay? And you see what will happen. Like you see a lot of bad dreams, yeah, this is a bad sign. You see a good dreams, okay, that's inshallah a good sign. But this does not change anything. You still continue. Like you continue, you find problems. Like his father always fights with him. Your brother is always, contradicting with him, and they dispute with one another. And they have big troubles. And you see things. So this is the istikhara. This is the istikhara in real life. So you cannot judge the istikhara from dreams. Okay? Allah sends you something as a sign. Yeah, but it's not necessary to be all the time the dream is there. No, you can do istikhara. I do a lot of istikhara. I never see a dream from my istikhara. But I just do it to just get the guidance from Allah Azza wa Jal. As long as you're continuing, for example, when I come into the US, the first time they refused me. I did istikhara, they refused me. I didn't see any dreams. So that's istikhara. So they stopped it. In the second time, I did istikhara as well. They accepted me. That was from Allah. Okay, that everything is going on. Khalas. That as long as there's no troubles, there's no problems, so that istikhara works with you. As long as the thing is going on, continuing, so this is the istikhara. Sister is saying, does the sisters have to take off the niqab the entire time? No, this is just like for the beginning, when he sees you. And after that, if you wear the niqab, now you're not gonna take off the niqab after he sees you and he's satisfied and he decided to have the engagement. After that, you're not gonna take off the niqab till you have the contract of marriage. The man and woman, and the woman should not speak with anyone other than the man about issues between them. I understand this concept for when you are already married, but if you are in the engagement stage, good job, very, very good question, pre-engagement.